Hey everybody, Zachary from Zachary Zoo Adventures. I am in San Diego, California, and today I am visiting the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Now, this is an AZA accredited facility. I'm excited to be here. I've been wanting to come back here for quite a long time. I have been here before, but I haven't been here in like 4 years, I believe. So I'm excited to be back here today at the zoo. As you can see, I am now wearing my regular Zachary Zoo Adventures hat, because I usually like to wear this hat at all the places I go to. It protects my forehead from being burned from the sun. And also, in case you wonder where, I did wear a different hat at the other few destinations on this road trip, but today I decided to wear my regular Zachary Zoo Adventures hat. So I'm excited to be here. This is supposed to be a very, very large zoo, and apparently they do not have any paper maps. I also don't see a stationary map anywhere, so hopefully there'll be a map eventually as I go through the zoo. So let's get started. First up, we got salmon-crested cockatoo. Alright, this looks like a nice habitat. Don't really see the bird anywhere. So it is still a little early. The zoo just opened, so I'll check back here later, because this is right at the front of the zoo. So we're gonna see in here and got hammer top, African open-bill stork, sun-bittern, African spoonbill, lace-on duck, scaly-sided merganser, marbled teal, abdem stork, and bical teal. Yes, this is the Wings of the World aviary that I am going to be going through. Yeah, I can see that's the sun-bittern right there. Yeah, see there's the African spoonbill. Yeah, so I should be able to get a nice closer view once I get inside the aviary, and hopefully I'll be able to see all the other birds. Yeah, so over here's another side view of the cockatoo habitat, so hopefully I'll be able to see that during my rewalk. But luckily it's right near the front of the zoo. Alright, I'm gonna go inside the Wings of the World aviary. Yeah, so I'm inside the aviary. I can see it looks like there's a Victoria crowned pigeon. Yes, this is all a free flight aviary. Wonderful. Wow, that's nice. A nice little waterfall here. Yeah, it looks like there's the abdem stork right up there. Over here's some white-faced whistling ducks. Yeah, those birds were not listed, but I do know that these are white-faced whistling ducks. 2 of them. A closer view of the African spoonbill. Yeah, it's all nice. We got another abdem stork up there. I think that's the abdem stork. I'm not exactly sure which stork that is. Alright, so I do see there's the hammer top right there. Alright, so I found a spotting guide that tells you all the other birds that are in here. So also got Sulawesi green imperial pigeon, Nicobar pigeon, Victoria crowned pigeon, Reed Chanel's helmeted guinea fowl, snowy crowned robin chat, emerald starling, Suriname crested Orimpendola, red crested turaco, great blue turaco, spur-winged lapwing. Also got golden or Tveta golden weaver, white-headed buffalo weaver, green wood hoopoe, superb starling, blue-bellied roller, Chinese huamai, white-headed duck, lace-on duck, marbled teal, scaly-sided merganser, bical teal, and falcated duck. Yeah, this is all the other birds in here. The hammer top was just there and it walked away. Yeah, this is very beautiful. Oh, there goes the hammer top again. It's a pretty cool looking bird. And there it goes. This one over here, I can see there's a second Victoria crowned pigeon. There's the white-faced whistling duck there. We got another hammer top here. It's one of the other birds. I'm guessing this might be the scaly-sided merganser. And there's the superb starling. And there's the Nicobar pigeon. Alright, so the superb starling just flew up all the way up there. Alright, so over here I can see there's the Teveta golden weaver. It's a very cute bird. Yeah, it's a very wonderful aviary. Also got some nests as well. Some more hammer tops, got some more of the Victoria crowned pigeons. Yeah, so right over there is the Wings of the World aviary I just came out of. So now I'm gonna head in this direction, see if there's any animals down here. We got African sacred ibis. Alright, this is nice. Looks like they're all over there. Oh, it's a nice little pond here. It's nice. Yeah, I really like the layout here. I like all the shrubs and everything. It's very, very beautiful. Alright, so I found a map of the zoo. So I'm right over here by that area that says you are here. So I'm probably gonna first head past this little animal there, then to the Nairobi village. Then after that, I'm gonna check out this area, and then after that, I'll head into the gorilla forest, then head into the African woods. Oh, this is really nice. It's a nice little elephant statue. They also do have signs pointing in different directions, so I'm probably going to head towards the Nairobi village and the Nairobi walk. Then I'm going to probably make my way to the safari walk. Alright, I've got the Nairobi station. Yeah, Nairobi. Alright, we've got Sand Cat. Yeah, do you see the Sand Cat? Oh, he is super cute.
Isn't he so cute?
I would just want to purr and rub up against you.
That is a very cute cat. Always love the sand cats. I absolutely love the sand cats habitats. Wonderful. We got Malagasy spider tortoise. Yes, I do see the tortoise. I don't know for sure if this is a young one or this is how big they get. So apparently the sign for this habitat is missing, and also this habitat is empty, so I don't think there's anything in here at the moment. Got a Woma. So let's look for the Woma. He's actually inside that rock or a little cave or den, not sure what to call it. Yeah, but he's in there. Got pancake tortoise. Alright, so the tortoise is in the little cave there, looks like. Got a Kimberly rock monitor. Wow, I love this habitat. There's two of them. We got one eating from the food bowl. We got a second one in the back. Got Angolan python. Oh, do you see the snake? He's right back there. Yeah, the snake is in the back there, curled up. You can kind of see him there, all the way in the back. Got another Woma, and just like the first one, he's also inside this little cave. Got Madagascar tree boa. So even though it's called a tree boa, that doesn't mean it's always going to be up in the tree. It's kind of like right now, he's on the ground today. Got got a black tree monitor. He's living out his name. It's in the tree, looks like. We got Visayan warty pig. Hey, do you see the piggies? There's 3 of them. Very nice looking pigs. Now I have seen these type of pigs before at a couple other zoos, so this is not the first time seeing this type of pigs, because I have seen them before at a couple other zoos I've been to. Over here gives you another side view of the Visayan warty pigs. You got the one there was just pulling on a little bamboo. Very cool animals. Got the village playground. Yeah, is this an area for the little kids to go play in? Got the flying foxes. Roost, sweet roost. Some hidden helpers. There's something to go inside here. Got Rodriguez flying fox. I do see them.
These are just skin. They're like skin, but they're thick, but they're very light. Thumb.
So it tells you where they live.
That's how they hold on to things, and that's how they would hold vegetables. All kinds of vegetables here too. Right now they're not moving much. These guys,
Yes, the flying fox do have tons of space for them.
So these guys are called megabats. The wingspan is about 3 feet, about this big. So these are big guys. So we don't have megabats in this country. We only have small bats, and the bats.
I'm feeling warm. A vital role. You got 2 bats over there. Looks like they're making some noises. Looks like one of them's got an itch. Over here we got Oasis on the Rocks, another eatery that says it is closed, but I'm guessing it's going to open up later. Don't know for sure if I'm going to have lunch today, but we'll just have to see what happens. Depends on how long I'm going to be at this place today. So I'm showing you the map again so you can see where I'm at. So I'm right over here. I just did the Nairobi village. I'm probably going to go on the lagoon loop past these animals over here. And after that, I'm probably going to go check out the flamingos and head on past the gorilla forest. And then that'll take me into the African woods. Where we got southern poodoo. I do see them. There's 2 of them. They are super cute animals. They're very cute. Very cute animals. Got the Mombasa fishing village. Got pink-back pelican and white-faced whistling duck. Wow, this is really nice. It's an egret. But I don't see the pelicans or the duck. But I do see a mallard duck right there. And some red-crowned cranes. Even though they are not listed, I do know that those are red-crowned cranes. This is called Mombasa Lagoon. Yeah, this is really nice. We got Chicoan peccary. Yeah, this is nice. You see 2 of them. These are also very cute animals. They're very, very fuzzy piggies. Oh, a 3rd one. There's 3 of them in this habitat. The Chicoan peccaries do have tons of space for them. It's nice. We got West African black-crowned crane. Yes, they're kind of surrounded by water. There's a little island for them. cranes on that side, looks like. From this side here, it gives you a closer view of the cranes. There's actually 2 of them. Everything else is in here. Got white crested cormorant, red crested pochard, I believe that's what it says, and common shell duck. Yeah, there's another side viewing area for the Mombasa lagoon. You can see there's the red crowned cranes. Alright, so over here you can see there's the pink-backed pelicans. Yeah, so these are all the pink-backed pelicans here, looks like. Got some of them over there in the nest. So what's cool is that all this area here with all the water actually goes into the water that makes up the island for the black-crowned cranes. I'm about to go on this little boardwalk that goes into the water here. See one of the birds there swimming by. Okay, North Sulawesi babirusa. Alright, there we go. So it's usually the males that have the big tusks on them. So this is the male here. Yeah, this is definitely the male because you can tell because it has those big tusks coming out. Usually have those big tusks coming out from their snout and then one coming out from their mouth. Because usually out in the wild, they actually live a much more shorter lifespan out in the wild because usually those 2 tusks that grow from its snout usually grow too large and they don't stop growing and they eventually actually go into their head and actually stabs their cranium. But luckily here at the zoo, their tusks get trimmed. Yeah, this is a very nice habitat. You also see one of the female babirusas. I know this is the female because it does not have any tusks growing out from its snout or mouth like the male. And there's the second female babirusa. Wow, this looks super beautiful. You got a nice little waterfall there. Wow, that's beautiful. That looks very, very beautiful. Definitely love this little pond here. It's wonderful. We got rhinoceros hornbill, courtship and nesting, conservation. Alright, this is a nice habitat. And the hornbill's right up there. It's actually very active today. They start jumping around all over. Oh yeah, you see right there. Kind of jumping all over that little branch there. Going back and forth. Guess he must be getting his exercise. We got bat-eared fox. Yes, I see the fox. It's actually right there. I think he's digging at something there. On the walk now, or on the move. I like the bat-eared fox's habitat. So there are some school groups here today, so it might be a little loud in some of these habitats, but luckily it should be okay because it is the end of the school year, because this is when the kids or school start going on their school field trips. So there's 2 bat-eared foxes. Looks like they're both digging at something, looks like. Yes, there's 2 of them. As I'm going down the trail, I can actually see there's 2 rhinoceros hornbills. Oh, they're sort of jumping around all over the place. Yes, this is another side view of the Mombasa lagoon. Man, it looks beautiful. Neighbors. Yes, these are all the other birds we have in here. Got black-crowned night heron, mallard, and northern pintail. Yeah, so all the birds we saw are all the way on that side of the lagoon. We can kind of see the pelicans. Yeah, all the pelicans are over there. Let's get a closer look at the beautiful waterfall. Nice. We got a dwarf mongoose. It's a nice looking habitat. Trying to find the mongoose. Doing the best I can to find the mongoose. Alright, so I don't really see the dwarf mongoose anywhere, so it's probably hiding somewhere super well. So I'll check back here later during my rewalk. Hopefully it'll be out, and if I have time to come back here later. Alright, so we got swan goose.
Guys, I'm gonna go in this other way.
And bar-headed goose. Well, this is a wonderful habitat. I'm gonna see if I can find these two birds. Alright, so over here is another view of the swan goose and bar-headed goose habitat. And I do not see any of the geese in here, so I will try to check back here later during my rewalk. And plus, it's not very far from the front of the place. Wow, this is very beautiful. Right up above the little waterfall I showed you from before. It also gives you a fantastic view of the Mombasa lagoon. Once we got this habitat here. Don't really know what's in here, but I don't see a sign for what's in here, so I don't know if there's anything in this habitat. So I'm up on this little tower here or something. We got a fantastic view of the Mombasa lagoon. Also kind of see the babirussas from up here. Got another great view of the waterfall. Yeah, this is just very, very wonderful. Super beautiful up here. Alright, so I'm now gonna head back down the stairs now. Yeah, we're super nice. Over here's another side view of that gorgeous lagoon. And that's the boardwalk I was just on that gave me a nice view of the lagoon. Also, it's where I saw the babirussas. Here we got white-breasted cormorant, swan goose, and black-crowned night heron. Oh, so I do see there's a bird that just went swimming out. But I don't see the heron, the cormorants, or... Well, I did see the pelicans on that side of the lake, but I don't think I saw the heron, so I'll have to try and come back here later on my rewalk. Alright, so I'm going to head this way to the gorillas. Bee Haven. We got white-fronted bee eater, Luzon bleeding heart dove, and chestnut-backed thrush. Oh, this is nice. You see a couple of the birds there. Looks like that was the bee eater. Yes, that's the white-fronted bee eater. Got some more of them on the tree. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are the white-fronted bee eaters. Yeah, you see the Luzon bleeding heart dove in the back. Yeah, what's behind those little bush there? Got a western gorilla. Wow, this is nice. And you see a gorilla right there. Family life. I do like the habitat for them. You see two of them right there. Very cool animals.
So this is the mom of one of the little girls.
Okay. Yeah, the gorillas is a very fantastic habitat for them. It's really, really nice.
Where are you going?
Here's another side view for the gorillas.
And you'll see what the plans are because they have to...
Over here's a side viewing for the gorillas. It's wonderful. That looks cool. Not always the silent type. He's got a nice little gorilla statue. It's a mom and baby. So over there's a journey into the wild amphitheater. And apparently it does not start till 2 p.m. But I'm probably not going to do this. We got red cheek gibbon.
Right, hanging on the mid top there, and then I turned around somewhere and then you're gone. So.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But, there's a lot of places for him to hide in these.
Okay. Yes, apparently the gibbons are not out, so hopefully they'll be out a little later during my rewalk. I'm gonna head on this trail here. Yes, apparently over here is the hidden jungle aviary, but it says it's closed. Here we got red-crested turco, black-winged starling, and Malay great Argus pheasant. It's nice. Oh, I do see the black-winged starling. Yes, the red-crested turco is in the back. Yes, I do see there's 2 pheasants.
No, not that.
No, not dragon.
Yeah, so this is actually the female pheasant because of its dull brown feathers. Yeah, so that's the male great Malay Argus pheasant because of its pretty feathers. It's usually the males that have the gorgeous flashy feathers, because luckily they use their feathers to attract a mate, and then once the females are impressed with the male's gorgeous feathers, the female and male become mates. This next habitat we got gray blue turco, white-breasted wood swallow, kagu, marbled teal, silver-beaked tanager, and white-headed buffalo weaver. Strength in numbers. So the kagu's running back and forth, looks like. And there's the turco.
You gotta get to the line.
These are all the smaller birds there flying around. And that's the white-breasted wood swallow. You can see there's the white-headed buffalo weaver right up there. The turco right there. The green blue turco. Yeah, that's a very gorgeous bird there. Over here are some wild birds you usually see in this area. We got Allen's hummingbird, Anna's hummingbird, Costa's hummingbird, and black-chinned hummingbird. Got the rainforest aviary. I'm inside the aviary here. See all the ducks, all the other species of birds. All the birds we got here. Got white-headed buffalo weaver, metallic starling, bally minna, purple-tailed imperial pigeon, white-faced whistling duck, spur-winged lapwing, white-crested laughing thrush, Madagascar crested ibis, Socorro dove, African spoonbill, African pygmy goose, Inca tern, red-breasted goose, white-headed duck, and scaly-sided merganser. Yes, these are the red-breasted geese here.
Oh, cool. That's Madagascar.
The African spoonbill. So in the back, I can see there's the ibis. So that's the Madagascar crested ibis. And there's the Inca tern. Some more birds here. So you are advised to not chase the birds, and also you are advised to be friendly to the birds. Nice birds. Very, very beautiful aviary. We got a closer look at the African spoonbill. Alright, so I'm gonna follow the signs here and make my way towards the African loop. I'm probably gonna go on the Africa tram ride next.
Green wing macaque. So these
Some
are
macaque
two
here.
parrots. So So they scream really loud, they have really strong beaks on their face that they can use to crack open nuts and seeds, right? And they love to fly through the forest.
Alright, so I'm on this little boardwalk here. Oh, this looks nice. Yes, I actually got two ways to get down because I've got the stairs there and also elevators there for people who have wheelchairs or strollers. So I'm probably going to go down the stairs. So I'm showing you the map again so you can see where I'm at. So I am right over here. So I just did all of this stuff here. So I'm probably going to show you the little hot air balloon safari they have. I'm probably not going to go on it, but I'm just going to show it to you. And then I'm going to head through the African woods and to the African outpost. So after I do these two areas, I'm going to go on the Africa tram. So over here is the balloon safari they have. So it looks like it is closed off, but that's okay because I was not planning on doing this. Here we got Nubian Soemmerring's gazelle. Wow, it's a wonderful habitat for them. I do see them. Right over there. Here we got another view of the gazelles. Very nice. They're all laying down over there, looks like. We got greater kudu. Oh, that's a nice habitat.
Everybody seems to be able to speak for God.
I actually do see an animal there, but it's not the kudu. It's actually much smaller.
Tim responded really well.
Looks like those are two gazelles, looks like. Here we're going to see Egyptian vulture and hooded vulture. Oh, this is nice. I do see two of the Egyptian vultures. And there's a second one laying in the grass. But I don't see the hooded vulture anywhere, so it's probably hiding somewhere, so I'll check back here later. Hopefully it'll be out. They found the right tool for the job. Yeah, so the vultures do have plenty of space for them. Yeah, so I'm going on this boardwalk here.
And guess what?
We got a copy.
What? Mine's a jaguar.
Oh, what's yours?
Mine's a...
Oh, it's a wonderful habitat. The okapi's actually in the back, pacing back and forth, looks like. Yeah, so the okapi kind of looks like a mixture of different animals, but these animals are actually related to the giraffe. Who's coming on over? Hi, okapi, how are you? Looks like he came up to say hello. I'm going towards the back. In this habitat, we got West African black-crowned crane. These are choosy eaters.
They will just like...
Abyssinian ground hornbill, red flank duiker, and southern Juranook. Yes, I do see the Juranook. Yes, the worker informed me that I did see that the cranes are not in here, because I do remember I saw the black-crowned cranes in the other habitat. Yes, the Juranook's got those really long necks there that allows them to eat from the trees, kind of like what they're doing right now. Yeah, I do see the duiker right there, walking around. Oh, he's super cute. And it's the male Juranook. You can tell because he's got the horns on him. And there's the female Juranook eating some leaves. Keep it clean. Yes, this is the rest of the okapi's habitat. It's nice. Yes, there's another side view of the habitat. But I don't see the Abyssinian ground hornbill anywhere. So I looked through the whole habitat and I just don't see it, so I'll check back here later on my rewalk. So usually in this habitat we usually get to see Egyptian goose, Demoiselle crane, and Abdem stork. However, there's a sign stating that the animals in here are off habitat. It does not say why they are off habitat, but they are going to be off habitat for the day. So in this habitat we got blue crane and white stork. So apparently I'm guessing this might be the habitat here, but looks like it's under construction, but I don't know if that's the habitat or if that's the habitat for the birds over there, but I'm not exactly sure. But I might try to check back here later. Hopefully they'll be out. So because this zoo is very, very large, I might not have time to do a full and complete rewalk of this place because this zoo is just so large. But the animals that are closest to the front of this zoo, I will have time to get back to. But some of the animals that are far away from the entrance, I might not have time for. But I'm gonna do the best I can to get back to as many animals that were not out this morning. So it's gonna be a see what happens sort of thing. Recently discovered. So let's say another side view for the okapi habitat. It's wonderful. Yes, I'm going down the boardwalk here. Yes, we do have some elevated boardwalks here as well, so super wonderful. Alright, I'm going through this area. Wow, this looks super beautiful. Got lily pads or lily pads here. Yeah, this is a beautiful area. So down here, I guess this is the habitat that has the blue crane and the white stork, but there's some workers in here doing some construction, so I don't think the birds are going to be out today, because it did say they're going to be off habitat. We got Abyssinian ground hornbill, wild behavior, eye protection. Yeah, so the hornbills are in this habitat. Very glad I got to see them today. So they're actually in this habitat instead of the other one. We got red river hog. Oh, it's a good looking habitat. Looks like the red river hog is right by the rock there. It's a cute animal. Trying to get you a nicer view of it. We got a side view of the red river hog. There you go. Now you can see it better. Looks like he's got an itch. So I'm gonna go on this little boardwalk here. It goes on to the water, looks like. Oh, this looks beautiful. Got some more animals in this habitat. Got southern ground hornbill and East African gray-crowned crane. There we go. Yes, the gray-crowned cranes have this little island for them, and the hornbill's actually over here. The southern ground hornbill has his own little island for him. Yes, there's two hornbills there. I didn't notice the second one, but the second one's right there. Yeah, there's two hornbills. Yeah, I'm still going on this little boardwalk here. Very nice. Got some more little islands here. Also got another nice view of the hornbills, the southern ground hornbills. Got this really beautiful lake. Got two duckies swimming together. Next up we got marabou stork. So there's two of them on this island, or these islands. And there's a second one. The little boardwalk I'm on is a little bit bouncy, so I'm trying to keep it nice and still. So that one there just opened up its wings. He must be stretching his wings. Yeah, so they have these three islands for them to be on. He's flapping his wings, looks like. Going across. Oh no, going back on his island. Alright, so I'm coming off of the little boardwalk here. And so here I got domestic dog and South African cheetah. This is the habitat of the dog and cheetah. You're probably thinking, why would the dog be with the cheetah? Because you probably think the cheetah's going to eat the dog. No, that is not true. The cheetah and dog actually grew up together, and I think the dog is actually the cheetah's therapy dog or emotional support animal or something like that. So yeah. So the dog was actually introduced to the cheetah as a companion. So the cheetah and dog are actually like best friends, I believe. From up here from the Okavango outpost, it gives you an amazing view of this little lake here. Also got the two islands where we saw the East African great crowned crane and the southern ground hornbill. You can kind of see the hornbill right there behind all the trees. So normally in this habitat we see Cavendish's dik-dik, red flank duiker, yellow-billed stork, East African great crowned crane, West African black-crowned crane, and white stork. So apparently their habitat is under construction, so I'm not going to be able to show you these animals, so I'm very sorry. Alright, I've got the Africa tram. So I'm in line waiting for the tram ride. Even though there's a bit of a line right now, I'm still going to do it anyway. Alright, so I do see the tram ride coming in.
My name is Owen, and I'll be your tour guide today as we travel through one of the two front doors of the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance. Look for all sorts of lovely life thriving in the African Savannah Conservation. During this time, my primary responsibility is for your safety, so please do remain seated if the vehicle is moving, in case I gotta stop suddenly. Don't play with the doors, don't lean up against the doors, they won't support you. Don't throw any of your personal items overboard, stuff, protect stuff. And in case of medical emergency, press one of those yellow safety strips on the ceiling. That'll buzz me in the cab and I know to call the medics room. Which is, I believe, the end of the safety lecture. So, if he's there, we can start looking for animals. I want the spotted creatures especially coming up on the left. And you'll see a good sized
cheetah habitat there.
Out in the middle of the palm trees. And well, the giraffes are the center of attention. I do want to stress they are not the only animals out here. You'll see rhinos as well, back over your left-hand shoulders or up at the top of the hill. You'll see various antelope up in front of us, including roan antelope and the hensbok. And if I scoot just a bit farther down the road over to the right, hopefully get a chance to see some cheetahs. Now you'll have to look carefully for the cats. They are well hidden.
It's a cheetah.
One is underneath the shady area in the tall grass. The other is a little bit farther back. Now, one thing I do have to ask is that we make sure to be respectful of the animals out here. They do not like loud, sudden, or screechy noises, so let's try to keep our conversations to an inside volume. Now, cheetahs, as I mentioned, are the world's fastest land mammals, capable of speeds up to around 70 miles an hour. Won't see them going quite that fast right at the moment, because cheetahs do spend 19 to 20 hours a day resting and relaxing. Saving up that energy for their next big run. Continuing on the right are a bunch of beautiful birds, both from Africa and from
Flamingos.
With the African birds, on the far side of the wooden fence, you'll see crowned cranes with the yellow plumes and feathers on their heads, white closer to us, the greater flamingos. Our greater flamingo is not quite as pink in color as some of their cousins. This is a result of their life in the inland marshes of Africa. Through their paler coloration will help them to camouflage within the flock and avoid becoming somebody's dinner. Those inland marshes have a lot more predators in them than, say, a small island in the Caribbean. We will talk today quite a bit about the geography of animals, places where they live, and why that matters. Both evolutionary time scales we can discuss, and also going forward for the future. Animals try to adapt to the changes we humans are making in the world in terms of climate, poaching, war, and all our other human activities.
Ooh, some rhinos.
The rhinoceros over the right-hand side, poaching and changing climate are their biggest threats. Poaching directly for the horns, and then the climate is getting hotter and drier, and dispersing the large food reserves rhinos need to survive. Hot weather, not so much a problem for the rhinos themselves, especially as you can see they love to roll in the mud. Put it all up along their side, both brown and orange. Especially as the sun comes out from behind the marine layer. I'll help them not just to stay cool, but also to protect against sunburn, which is a threat for rhinos. They don't have a thick fur coat like any other animals you see. Rhino skin might be tough and thick, but it is still skin. It's vulnerable to UV, same way they humans. Back to the left, across the pond, and down the valley floor. We'll be traveling all the way across this small canyon for all sorts of animals along the way, including, I want to be very clear here, a couple baby giraffes. You can see the giraffe herd, they're in toward the center in a small grove of trees. As we go directly by them, I will not be stopping the tram, and we will not be talking as we go by. Baby giraffes are less than a month old and are still relatively sensitive. They're bonding with their mothers and adapting to their new life. So like I said, I'm going to turn off my microphone as we roll by. I will not be stopping. And if I do hear too much screaming, we are going to have to hit the gas and go straight on past. Okay? I'll give you a warning before we get there in particular. Make sure that you're looking in the right spot. Hopefully get a good photograph. Some beautiful birds off to the right, pelicans especially, the fisher birds using a large pouch underneath their throats to scoop out whole schools of fish at once. The left-hand side, we'll see a handful more antelope, especially the common eland, who are tan in color with corkscrew-shaped horns. They come from the broad savannas and grasslands of eastern Africa. While you're looking at the eland up the hillside, I want to warn you, we are just about to Giraffe Central. So if you see this road that runs along the valley floor, separating the grass from the dirt, see that road right down the center goes past the tall tree with white bark. The giraffes are hanging out alongside that road in a small grove of pepper trees. Should be pretty easy to spot the baby giraffes. They will be the ones that are noticeably smaller than the others. The oldest, again, about 1 month old. The youngest, about 2 weeks old. We're getting ready to make our pass now, so please do keep your voices at a respectful volume. I'm going to turn off my microphone. I'll see you again on the far side. There we go. Everybody, I think you all deserve a pat on the back for being so nice and respectful to those baby giraffes. We really do appreciate it. You probably see one of our wildlife care experts out there in their truck watching the moms, watching the babies. I know they all appreciate you as well. So, thanks again. We'll pull just a little bit farther forward here. We're going to have some great animals on both sides, including another baby that we will be able to stop and look at. The baby's going to be coming up on our right. It's a 1-year-old foal for a type of wild donkey from Somalia. This is a critically endangered species on your right. There are less than 300 of these animals left in the entire world. So you are seeing right now 2 adults and a foal, approximately 1% of the world's population. And this is only part of the herd. The rest of them obviously back up in pepper trees. We are very glad to be working to help this animal survive. While over to your left, we'll travel down to the south of Africa. Say hello to some animals from the grasslands and deserts of the southwest. Cape buffalo, dark brown in color, with thick inward curved horns, 1,600 to 2,000 pounds of pop. And the Hemsville antelope, lighter in coloration, big long horns. Notice they're much lighter build, longer horns. That's indicative of desert animals living in hot, dry environments with scarce access to food or water. Buffalo, by contrast, are thick, compact, muscular, well-built. An animal who obviously comes from an area with higher access to resources. Say the grasslands of southern Africa.
I've known the babies since they were born.
And buffalo will maximize their use of those resources by migration, traveling long distances across the open plains, food and water. Avoiding overgrazing in one particular area. Got a zebra standing sentinel out on the far hillside. You might be a little bit disappointed as you see him because there's a bunch of trees in the way and he's off in the distance. You might be thinking, now bummer, but I really like giraffes. In that case, I've got a wonderful surprise for you. I want you to keep your eyes up close to us. See where those orange antelope are? Those are down to top. Keep your eyes right about there and count yourself down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is this close enough for a zebra? A little bit closer than that last one. Just a beautiful view of a very handsome fella. An animal that I'm sure you are all able to recognize without my help. You know, some of these creatures I gotta make sure to very diligently tell you the name. Other animals you read about in your first book ever, right? Kids, you all remember Z is for zebra. It always is. I guess unless you grow up in a Commonwealth country where Z is for zebra. But bunch of Californians out here too. Look for cliff swallows, which are the little tiny birds that are zooming around. You might see cougar too as well, maybe some mallards. All sorts of North American birds flown in to help dispose of our extra food. But I am just joking a little bit here. I do love seeing the Californian animals too. You know, if you look off to the right, you'll see they're not intruding in our park. Much as our park intruded into their habitat. All the world is a wild place. I include San Diego County. This is why the park has more than 900 acres set aside and dedicated as a nature preserve for all of our Californian friends. Like we work as well for all of our friends from faraway places like Africa. Speaking of far away, another little peek at the giraffes. I think we're far enough away from them over here that we can stop and take a quick moment. Looks like the majority of the giraffes are approaching the elevated feeding stations along the building wall. The giraffes do prefer to reach up for their food rather than down. And you'll sometimes hear a myth that giraffes cannot reach down to ground level, that their hearts are so powerful it would cause all the blood to rush to their heads if it's pumping that up those big long necks. But I do want to stress that is just a myth. Giraffes, of course, can reach down to ground level. They need to drink, after all. And if there's one thing I know about water, it's that it appears, at water level, out on the ground. So they got to reach those necks down to get a drink. They prefer to reach up for their food because it allows them to keep their eyes elevated high up off the ground, have a better lookout for danger, a better chance of spotting an incoming predator. Now what you and I know is that here at the park, there is no incoming danger. There are no predators down the stray. The giraffes don't know that. Same precaution they would smile. Here's those babies again over your shoulders down your big feet. A very brief place with the giraffes off in the distance. The beautiful antelope up close to I do want to talk a little bit more about antelope. We've seen a lot of them over the course of the tour, maybe more than you expect when you get on a bus like this to go see African wildlife. But in reality, antelope are probably the most iconic of the African mammals. Things like the eland down to our left, not necessarily the most glamorous, the most popular, but in many ways the most important, because antelope are numerous and they are ubiquitous. They are found everywhere in giant numbers. There are, just in Africa, 73 antelope species. Some of those antelope number into the millions of individuals. Contrast that with about 100,000 giraffes and about 16,000 rhinos. Because they are so numerous, antelope support the ecosystem in ways that other bigger, more famous animals cannot. It is the antelope who are picking up seeds in their fur and distributing those seeds over wide areas. Antelope who are fertilizing those seeds with the waste. Antelope who are effectively propagating entire generations of plants. At the same time, they're supporting the plants and therefore the other herbivores. The antelope are also providing food for predators, lions, cheetahs, leopards, and the other big cats. Now, they all rely on the antelope for a majority of their calories. Now, I'm not saying you got to give up on cheetahs or rhinos or giraffes or whoever your favorite is. I'm not saying you have to make antelope your new favorites. But I do ask that we give them the same time, attention, understanding that we afford to their more famous customers. And to that end, we had a couple antelopes that we saw way back at the beginning of the tour, and I kind of glossed past them on my way to talk about giraffes, rhinos, and cheetahs. So let's make sure we give them a little bit of attention on our way back in to say hello to the roan antelope. We've seen these a few times today. They're the big barrel-chested animals with exactly curved horns. And you might be wondering why we've got this group here that's hanging out with the giraffes, and then another group of them, if you remember, that was hanging out with the zebras. Well, this group here, this is the moms and the babies, the main body of the herd, the primary population. The other roan antelope we saw off in the distance, those were the bachelors, the young adult males who have become a little bit bothersome and been politely asked to leave by the matriarchs. The vast majority of big herding African mammals are, after all, matriarchal. And the oldest and most experienced of the cows lead the way. That includes for the giraffes. Hey, remember what I was telling about earlier? About how giraffes need to drink? The water comes from ground level. Well, there you go. This is how a giraffe gets down there. I call it the tripod. Spread those front legs open wide, bend the neck down to the ground. Once you're done drinking though, you want to get those eyes back up, and you can resume searching for danger. As for rhinos, I do want to talk briefly about them as well. The rhinos have been a little bit reclusive for the most part today. We saw that one group that was mud bathing way at the beginning. Many of the others are kind of hiding here and there. There's a couple up at the top of the hillside. These are all southern white rhinoceros we've seen today. These are the grassland rhinos of Africa. The most populous of the rhino species. And yet still in danger. Rhino populations have been in free fall now for about 15 years. And we are very glad to be working together with groups of them here at the park to try and arrest that decline in population. You are supporting all of our conservation efforts, including with the rhinos, by being here today. The park is a non-profit organization. Your money comes right back towards our efforts on a global scale. Now, you might be thinking, though, that, oops, now I'm a kid on a school trip. It's not like I'm spending huge amounts of money here. Now, don't worry. You are helping in an even more important way. My generation, the one before me, we made a lot of big mistakes when it comes to our stewardship plan. We've left you a big mess. Looking back at your happy young faces, looking at you learn about these animals, hopefully learn to love them. It gives me confidence. You will not
There's the lions.
that you'll be able to build a better world for your children than the one we're leaving you. Thank you so much for coming out. side into the roadway. Please check it out up by the tab on the have a lovely rest of your day.
Alright, so I'm off the tram ride, and that was a very, very fun ride. I definitely enjoyed that a lot. I got to see all different sorts of animals from Africa. It was very, very enjoyable. The last couple of times I've come to this place before, apparently I only went on the private safari tours, but never on the tram ride. So this was my first time I got to ride the Africa tram ride, so it was very, very fun. I definitely recommend you save enough time for the tram ride because it's very, very fun and very educational.